To the Spirit Society of Virginia. Today we're going to start about sheepishly. Such for all of us today is to speak. Even today, the master's question is clear. Absolutely have to get used to looking for the best because go forward to the wayside by our thoughtfulness in many circumstances simply because they have mirrored facts. Not is what would let us dedicate ourselves to the task the Lord has reserved for us in the spreading of the light and the good, and let us be convinced that by doing so, the speck that troubles our neighbor's eye, just like the log that obscures ours, will spontaneously dissolve, restoring our happiness and continuous renewal.
So the message is talking about the speck falling Allergy. It's all about allergy season, huh? Clearly. So what is the message saying? Don't mind the pollen, take your medication. You'll be fine. All right, so let us seek the best, huh? And pray for more bees so we don't have this crazy pollen all around. All right, so let us pray then, shall we, friends? Let us pray, feeling the presence of God in our lives. As we breathe in and out, God is supporting us, sustaining us. Thank you, God, for the gift of this new day and every day, for the opportunity of this center opening its doors for us so we can renew ourselves. We feel the presence of your healing care and we visualize light in our homes, in our neighborhoods, and much protection for our planet. May love grow today more than yesterday as we evolve in a certain journey to your heart. We ask for your guidance. We feel your protection. And we thank you for granting us the permission to be here. And so be it. So be it. Okay, today is April 13th, but it's not Friday. Don't worry. 5 more days, meaning April 18th. And we are celebrating something huge on earth that one day humanity will know, like in the mainstream. April 18th. What is that date about? Hmm?
Something dear to my heart.
Yes, not your family, because I know it is. So it is starts with an S. It's not the sun. What is the son of the truth? The son of the truth on earth, the coming of Spiritism. On April 18th, 1857, Allan Kardec decided we're going to publish these teachings so people live a better life. And thanks to that decision, striking, before internet, before phones, cell phones, before computers, look where we are. The world has more and more people learning about it, opening Spiritist centers, sharing the good news, and changing their lives. So today we celebrate that day. The month of April is a celebration of that courage to share things that to date many people don't understand or misunderstand. So let's go with our lessons today, okay? Inside, our younger ones will learn about the inner life. The older ones inside are gonna learn about something that I can't tell because it's a surprise from the book 2000 years ago. More wonderful chapters. And as for us, there's more about the Son of the Truth. Shall we go with our friends? Miss Daisy, Miss Carol. Let's go there. Enjoy. Bing bong, bing bing bong. You have your lunch today? Do you have your snack? Is that special? Oh, oh. Uh-oh. Listen. Okay. So imagine this. In 1850s, our planet was in a big separation between science and religion. In, in France alone, a Catholic country at the time, the church was very powerful. The sciences were becoming more and more powerful, separating themselves from religion. Then comes Allan Kardec, a man of science, an educator, a person who belonged to the elite society to the point that he knew the emperor of the time. Yes. He came from an aristocratic family. And think about it. You are in the inner circle. But all over the place, people are talking about tables turning, spirits talking. But some people were just using it for entertainment, for personal gain, personal reasons. But Kardec at first says, I don't believe these things. I don't think tables have brains. But one day, a close friend, see the importance of our personal influence? Close friend of his came and said, you must come. It's incredible. It must be true. You have to see it. He went to this family's home. There were mediums there. And the rest is history. But Kardec, unlike many people, he was not an ordinary man. Yeah, many spirits exist, whatever. Like many spiritists nowadays. Oh, I'm a spiritist, but I live a very materialistic life. Spiritism is just for good days, like a surfer. Many people are like spiritist surfers. When there is a good wave, they go. Yeah. So, but it doesn't change our lives. Daily, we're choosing the material life, the house and the car and the daily things, but we're not making choices for immortality. Kardec thought, if we keep on living, that means there are consequences. And if it's true that the Spirit's saying that there is a reincarnation, what we do today affects another life. And so we better research on this better. And then he started researching very seriously. 168 years ago, precisely, Spiritism came to the earth. We understand, thanks to Kardec, the team of spirits, that Spiritism is the promised consoler by Christ Jesus. When Jesus was on earth, we didn't have words to explain. The vocabulary was very limited, the understanding of people. So when people wanted to know more, like his disciples, he said, one day, he said, I will send to you the promised console that will teach you everything I cannot teach and much more, and will stay with you till the end of times. Because of that, many people think Jesus is going to come back physically. He never left. Why does he need to come? Only the materialistic minds believe that we need to see him. He's always with us. He sent these teachings all over the place with different names, but specifically on April 18th, 1857, he brought to us a compilation through Kardec's team in the Spirit's book, summarizing it all. So if you are Buddhist, you're going to recognize many of the teachings there. And Kardec recognizes this. He says, in the introduction of the Gospel according to Spiritism, which was published later, 7 years later, 1864, then he says, what we are sharing with you is not new. It has always existed in humankind's history with different names, but we have a compilation. It's so organized. And it has a framework, a very secure framework for us. And it brings what they say, the light of the truth, which is everywhere, even without the name. We're not claiming we have the truth. Truth is everywhere, but it's organized in these books for us to study, for us to know of ourselves. But everything began when Kardec made a decision. So we would recommend, as Mr. John always recommends, watch this movie, Kardec, at Netflix. To see the beautiful journey. It's so well done, right? And it gives us a better understanding about his decision, his timing, his courage. Friends, we know nowadays we are suffering, not because of allergy season. We're suffering during this allergy season big time, but it's not only that. And it's not only about a new administration in the United States. It's the world. We are at a very peculiar time. And we are also being pushed to make decisions. Kardec, when he was called to make a decision, he didn't hesitate. Consequences. There are consequences for not choosing and for choosing. Okay? There are consequences for both. He chose something that makes a difference in our lives too. Now, let us think together. Bartholomew, one of Jesus' disciples that people rarely know about, as reported in the book Good News, he was mostly like a majority of people on earth, confused. Like, we know the truth, but how do we become a good person in the world where selfishness is still so extreme? People playing games with billions of dollars in the stock just for the gain of a few. If we're not seeing that, we need to reincarnate again and again. Because these are games. Games that happen at Jesus' time and continue to happen. And Bartholomew, mostly like us, was talking to Jesus and saying, I don't know how, I think the good news you bring is so beautiful. My family is a mess, he said. My father doesn't understand it. The only person who understood me, my mother, is gone. She died. And my brothers, they bully me all the time. And my co-workers, they're the worst. So how am I going to fulfill it? Everything that you're saying. And Jesus said, Bartolomeo, who said the good news didn't come to bring us joy? And the trademark of those who really follow it is joy, number one. Two, hope. And three, courage. Today we're talking about the decision, courage. The courage to do what we need to do, the good. The decision that we're being pushed nowadays, no matter what. It's a different time. Of all reincarnations you and I have lived, this one is very. In previous lives, we were mostly dormant, making choices, not decisions, just choices out of conveniences, immediate gain, pleasures. Is in a transition. Scientists have a clock, the clock of the doom's clock. And they say we are a minute and a half away. Vanessa, what is that? The world's gonna end. If we keep doing what we're doing to the planet will not be able to sustain us. So we spiritists do not understand that the world is gonna end. The good shall prevail. We are not alone. There is governance higher than us. There is freedom on our side, but there's limit to that. Just like our babies, for example. If you think little Olivia, she feels right now very free in her chair. She thinks, I'm so free, I'm so happy. She doesn't know that she's limited to the chair. She doesn't have that understanding yet to know that, but she feels very free. You can tell. She's happy and free. Like us, we may think we're so free, but there's a limit to that freedom. We are coming at a time in which our planet is leaving the kingdom of evil when it prevails to the kingdom of the good, veiling the good. We are leaving the world of tests and atonements or trials and expiations, as we can read in chapter 3 of the Gospel according to Spiritism. All the messages there come from the Spirit Saint Augustine. And according to Chico Xavier Divaldo Franco, Saint Augustine is the main spirit who, together with the Christ, is leading us into this transition. And he explains the characteristics of this, especially planet Earth. Right now, when we wake up, we should expect tests. That's the school we're living right now. The grade we are in right now is about tests and revisiting things that are a little painful. We call expiation. But we are getting into another grade very soon. We'll graduate as a planet and go into this new grade of regeneration. What is regeneration? It's when I no longer am conscious of my decisions. I choose the good in spite of the consequences. For example, at work, let's say I am the director of the CDC. Okay. Comes somebody higher than me and say, Vanessa, I want you to tell people that vaccines are not safe. I'll say as a scientist, impossible, because vaccines that we have researched upon, they are safe and they are needed. No, but we want you to tell that they create autism, they do this, that, and the other. What are you going to do? What the former director of the CDC did? He resigned and said, no, I'll lose my job, I'll lose the prestige, but I'm not going to tell a lie and create. Planet of regeneration needs courage to make decisions that will tell our teens today in their lesson today. They are learning today about how to lose in the world but not lose your soul. When your friends come and say, come on, just try it once. Because that's how addictions begin. They begin with one sip, with one little action. Just try it. And the rest is a descent in our balance. And we're going to say, I'm sorry. We're going to find better friends. Sorry, but these friends are no gain. The best choice is to find new friends. Pray for those former friends, but do not stay there. I know people who say, Vanessa, I became a spiritist, but my friends still like a lot of vanity, a lot of talking about guys, talking about sex, talking about. Well, choose your friends better then. These are not good friends. Oh, but I want to help them. Okay, so you want to save the world? Then don't lose yourself. Because Jesus really saved without losing. We are coming at a time that this transition is pushing us to this decision. A decision that Kardec made. A decision that transformed our lives. I'm going to give it to you an issue of the Spiritist Magazine that 18 years ago, almost, right? We published talking about the 150th anniversary. But there are articles here talking about how Spiritism helps us understand illnesses. A beautiful article about the scholar Sueli Caldas-Schubert about how illnesses are the cure for our souls. How Spiritism has an antidepressant kit. Talks about the spirit doctor Bezerra de Menezes much more. So take it with you at home, read it, show it to your kids. Okay? Thank you. Meanwhile, as we are browsing through this wonderful issue of the magazine, we're going to see a beautiful article also about a British friend of Spiritism, Dr. Andrew Powell, about suffering, collective suffering. See, these articles are so immortalized. Kardec talking about how he published the Spiritist Magazine. And we're going to see here also how Kardec treats Spiritism beyond a simple religion thing. So it's a great issue for all of us. Short articles that can lead us to greater understanding, friends. But why we're showing this to you? Well, we are saying that our choice, our decision will change our lives. what we're saying here is not our creation. Even science says about our happiness that depends on our decision. Think about this. Dr. Sonia Libornisky, a neuroscientist at University of California, San Diego, has been researching on happiness. And we interviewed her at Kardec Radio many years ago. And she published many books, many articles. And this is one of the findings she brings to us that matches the Spiritist teachings. She shares with us from studies. The happiness, some people will say, oh, it depends on my genetics, right? Well, half of it. Half of our happiness depends on our genes. The other half depend mostly 40+% in our what she called intentional activity, choices, decisions that and 10% life circumstances. Now let us break it down according to the Spiritist view, because then we may feel, see, I'm not happy because of my parents. This 50% that we call biology or genetics, when we incarnate, first we choose our parents. So the story they have belongs to us. So we can't keep rejecting and saying, they are, I am so different. No, their story belongs to our story. And the genes that we attracted, says Spiritism, the genes that we attract belong to the magnetism of our minds. The gene pool that makes our biology has everything to do with our mental body. You can read more about this in the book The Missionaries of the Light by Andrea Luiz to Chico Xavier, explaining how reincarnation, the process happens, the planning of reincarnation. So if we look at Dr. Libornisky's graph, we're going to say, you know what? At the end of the day, we are happy because of the choices we made that now are in our biology. Previous life choices, now in our biology. Choices that are current, our intentional activity. And the 10% that we talk about, let's say, yeah, but 10% of my unhappiness is because of the world. We're part of the making of the history of the world. So at the end of the day, 100% of our happiness or unhappiness is due to our choices. So to make better choices, what do we need to do? To be aware of what we're choosing. I'll give you a silly example. I told the friends here in the center on Wednesday something that seems small, but it's not quite small. I was at the gym the other day, and in this gym at the end, there is like a hydro massage chair. Imagine that. You go there just for that. No, you don't. You work out always thinking, I'm going to finish just to go to that hydro massage. Then you lay down. Before, I had a friend with me. So they had two chairs, and it's only 10 minutes they allow per person. So we are there, but one of the people before us who was using the chair said, can I use it for 10 more minutes? And the first part of me said, of course, she probably needs it. The second part, and look at this. My chair was secure because the person before me left. It was the chair for a friend of mine who was there. And then I said, man, if she doesn't lay down, I can't lay down. So I intervened right away. And I said, can you wait 10 minutes? And I said, can we do this and then you use your 10 more minutes? She said, okay. There is a rule, it's written on the chair. You can only use those 10 minutes and that's it. But, okay. And then she left, and I was like, oh my gosh. Immediately I thought, oh my gosh, how selfish are we? Or it's not even a need, it's so superfluous. Immediately I was unhappy. The happiness of the massage did not comfort my conscience. There was screaming out loud saying, selfish, selfish. Why, Vanessa? Just leave it alone. She needs it. Nobody's going to ask for 10 more minutes in this place if they don't need it. Man, I said, oh my gosh. And then I apologized to my friend too because I said it's my fault because I jumped in and I made a decision for us. And she said, no, but I thought about it too. I said, no, 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 no. It was my fault. But think about this. It seems small, right? But at the end of the day, that minute choice plus other choices make our day. Things seem small until we sum it all up and becomes huge. Can I complain that I wasn't happy that day? No, I observed where I still need to work. And that's why Spiritism comes to us and says that we need to leave the torments of our lives to liberate ourselves. What are torments? The one that I just showed to you. Selfishness. I think of my own good before somebody else's good. I prioritize my need versus somebody else's need. These are torments. It's when our kid is at home and wants to share a drawing, something they made, and we're like, man, don't you see I'm busy? Or I'm tired, not now. Can we go for a bike ride? And we're like, oh man, I'm so tired. That torment of our selfishness. Torments are our addictions too. When we prioritize our well-being, not true well-being, we think it is, versus everybody else's. To go from there to liberating our souls and living a life that is free from all torments, we need the truth. The truth is like the light that comes in the cave of our torments and cracks in. As we see the light, we enter conflicts. So it's not all bad when people talk about existential conflict. I'm so conflicted. Great. Better than being tormented. If you go places where people cherish all sorts of addictions, many of them don't even realize what they're doing. They think it's okay. I'm fine. I'm great. And they are full of addictions. The minute we see the truth, we enter conflicts. We start feeling like, man, I know I shouldn't do it, but I still feel like I want it and I need it. And at some point, as the light becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and more present in our lives, we finally make a decision. That decision comes here for our soul liberation. Decision time comes right here. Right here. To free us from our conflicts. It's when we say, I am no longer trying to stop drinking. I stopped. I am no longer trying not to gossip. I stopped gossiping. I am no longer trying to eat more than I should. I stopped eating more than I should. I am no longer trying not to be lazy. I stopped being lazy. Because, by the way, according to the Spiritist studies, our addictions are derived from laziness. So when we become more productive, and we're not talking about material production, we useful ways. We finish with addictions. So today, friends, we are seeing that the light of Spiritism has been shining on our torments, pushing us to conflicts inevitably. How often you leave the center, you go home feeling, my life is getting more complicated now because now I know things I didn't know and now I feel more, right? Look, you're in the conflict zone. You're closer to soul liberation. Keep going. But the more we read, that's why we have Kardec read, the Spiritist Magazine, the apps, to push us to open our minds to the truth. So we say, enough. I will no longer be a prisoner of my torments. Like Saul of Tarsus, in his vanity, torment of the mind, vanity, our vanity, he was applauded in his cruelty, in his Pharisaic attitude, in his hypocritical attitude. Oh God, but then I'm killing. That's hypocrisy, huh? We love God, we don't kill, no matter what. Vanessa, somebody's gonna kill me. Well, let them kill us. You're gonna kill to defend yourself? Jesus didn't do it. That's why when we recommend watch The Chosen season 5. We have to watch it. But we Spiritists understand it's not a belief. We know that the Prince of Peace never raised his hand to overthrow any table, to pick up a whip and whip out a market at the temple. It doesn't match with the profile of the purity of his heart. It doesn't match with his very martyrdom. Why would he do that and allow himself to be arrested? To defend himself, he did not hurt anyone. So when we say, I have a gun because if people come to my house, I have to defend myself, really? They come and kill us, we'll be happy in heaven. Because life doesn't end. But you're going to sleep well knowing you killed somebody to defend yourself. That doesn't match. But Vanessa, should we finish off with guns? Yes, one day it's going to be a museum piece. That's the goal. And we're sorry the NRA is here in Virginia, right? The headquarters. It's funny to say. We respect the culture, but the culture to kill has to come to an end. And that will only come when the truth shines so brightly that we understand that when God created somebody, we cannot kill anyone. Cannot. Everybody is a child of God. Before we read the Spirit's book, we get to know that there's no reason to be afraid, even of the current mess we experience, because God is in charge. Yes, we need to be aware. Yes, we need to speak up. Yes, we need to do our share, but with confidence, with courage, with optimism, joy of living, hope always. To be free from the torments. How many times we make decisions based on fear? Jesus, died and mourned, tells us that we have no reason to be afraid. We finalize today seeking that light that is shining upon all of us and is asking each one of us to do our share so the world will be benefited by the Son of the Truth that Jesus exemplified to us. Let us at this passes time that we're going to experience feel this light coming upon us and our family members and everyone, and raising ourselves above our conditionings, liberating ourselves from torments, conflicts, so we can fulfill God's will. Shall we, friends? Let us prepare ourselves for the process. No. Okay. So let us all help one another by visualizing Master Jesus and his loving heart radiating light of healing upon us. Let us receive this healing that comes from him and feel his loving care. Let us visualize the light of the Master in his hands applying onto us the energy medicine that we need for the mind and the bodies. Let us then visualize rays of healing light falling upon us like showers of healing. Let us breathe in and then feel the loving care that comes from the good and loving spirits. The spirit doctors, nurses, and therapists who are here. Let us feel their presence, their loving embrace. So let us take a look at Jesus here with his mission. He's saying, come with me, let's go with him. Feel his loving light from his heart, giving us new strength, protection, and encouragement. She wants to come. She wants to come there. This one. This one. You know, it's not time. This thing is in your chest.
Julia. Sure. Please. Lift your head. Yeah. That's cool. Pick out.
Eles vão chegar, cara. Eles negociamos. Eles contam nos fazem anos. Jesus, nós não esses All right, so let us all help one another by visualizing a field of lavender flowers and the light of the flowers radiating, enveloping our minds in calm as we breathe in the perfume of tranquility, invited to serenity, to peace. Let us feel the presence of Master Jesus blessing all of us. Yes, come. It's okay. Mm. Yeah. Okay. So now visualize Master Jesus entering our homes and placing a vase of healing flowers on our dining table, cleansing the environment with his loving heart, securing our home, rescuing those who need help. Let us feel his presence in our homes and express our gratitude to him. So let us now, all now, one more time, feel the presence of Master Jesus. Thank you, Master Jesus, for being our guide and model. And especially today, we thank you for bringing us the light of the truth. Thanks to Spiritism in our lives, our hearts are full of hope, of joy, of courage to fulfill what you like us to fulfill in this life, Master Jesus. We pray that we can be strong, fulfilling the daily duties that we are all asked to with the eyes of immortality. May we go home feeling your presence even closer, and may, without words, we share your light with all those that we encounter. We pray for those, Master Jesus, who are still sleeping in their own selfishness and egotism. May your light of the truth penetrate all their hearts in both realms. And grateful for these moments of deep healing for our soul, we ask for your permission to close this session this morning. And so be it.
And friends, just a reminder, Sunday, just so you know, on the 26th, we are going to be doing our regular service in DC. The list is in the back. We still need two volunteers to bring items. One is going to be the 100 peanut butter jelly sandwiches, and then also the green beans. So it's going to be on Saturday, April the 26th. Is an amazing opportunity for us to practice serving and speaking the truth. So if you can, please just sign your name in the back, and then if you have any questions about the service, please come and talk to us. If it's your first time, there is a set of guidelines I would like to share with you. So yeah, so if you like to participate, just put your name on the list and then your email, and we'll reach out to you. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great Sunday, everybody.
Yeah, it was full. It was like slide there. How about you, Julie? The flashlight story. Yeah? Vamos dar um tanto, né? Uau! Parabéns, hein? Galera, perceber o que ela precisa para esse projeto, esse projeto. Eu não entendi, tem. Quantos ele tem já? 5. Não estava aí, não. Acho que ele vai gostar. Vai adorar. Vai aprender mais sobre Jesus. Ele já tem um bonequinho de Jesus, ele dorme, eles aparecem assim. Ele vai gostar. Você acha um lugar para ele aqui de Gorgeous? Ele vai começar na escola em agosto. Ele tá no fall. Então tá. Ele vai ficar em casa comigo até começar as aulas. Eu quero trazer ele para o centro nos domingos agora. Acho que tá lá dentro, então, né? Eu acho que tá lá dentro. Vários minutinhos, e aí eu já trago, tá?
Imagina.
Chega a tocar me.
Ela é tua? Não, eu tinha visto seu pai, mas eu não morava na região. Eu tinha visto aqui a 20 minutos. Agora eu vou pensar em Valéria. Agradeço. Viva, não? Pode falar, gente. Só tá vindo todo mundo. Gente, vai me seguir, se Deus quiser. Obrigada. Já expirei, por favor. Não, bebê.
Ela bate no olho. Ela toda
Grande lá em casa. Sim, mas não tem problema.
que bom.
A gente não tem legal. Essa energia. E ao redor da várias pessoas acho que vai bom. Não. Eu tenho uma ideia. Ela considera que vai à noite. Ela vai me dar o formulário. Preencher para fazer essa semana. Eu Yes. Você gostou dessa gente?
Fazer.
Pequenininho, eu falei, ele a gente sempre passa um pouco as princípios e mas não ter uma aulinha estruturada para desenvolver essa aulinha nessa gente. Ele joga, já reza para Jesus, Ele vai na hora de dormir, ele fala, na hora de dormir, ele tava falando, ele não essas coisas, oh my God, my dog still smells bad. Oh, man, consegue comer os dois? Sim, it still smells awful. Have you tried? Mamãe, você pode eu não posso fazer isso também. Eu posso mandar esse e-mail? Pode. E-mail está no chat. Não, vocês falam pra gente se tiver qualquer coisa. Tá. But she did. But that was the real fun. And I've tried everything.
Good.
Yeah.
You picking up?
Yeah. Still nothing. That's so much. Because my dog because she started playing really friendly doors to get a groundhog and kill it. And there's a groundhog like
Definitely one.
at the bench. I was like, oh, it's fine, just let her out, it'll be fine. And then you know what? The groundhog doesn't let up fights. And you know what's exactly and this thing waits until my dog said trying to get away. In the opposite direction.
She's less than the guys.
She's
So she's more choose today.
this one way back. She was at a certain point in or she stepped out of all she just I don't know. She like put
Mas aí olhou pra mãe.
for another 2 times. You gotta do with that. And they're really doing so many. I had to watch her. It's just like on my camera. My mom's. I like to learn about signals with my dog. And then, so I could see her like she was like sleeping. Well, me and my mom went to the grocery store for like 40 hours. And then I was just sleeping. She couldn't even move. Like legs just so like set and distorted. So I just like she did not like to do that. Just not like to so much. She was like she was walking. She just get her. So she's also Stop organizing my blog and I wrote. There's one goes with this one. We didn't pump it, so we didn't want to. So I was kind of scared my sister. My pictures, however, like some more exciting. White, red, yellow, green, teal. Nossa, olha, acho que já vai Graças a Deus. Obrigada, Carol. Não, obrigada. Só passando. Aqui é mais incrível, desse house. How do you know?